Good afternoon, Control Alt listeners, and welcome to another episode of Control Alt Listen. Today we're coming to you live from the OpenText Summit in Melbourne, Australia. And with me today, I have our SVP of Sales for Asia Pacific, Stephen McNulty. Stephen, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Suren.
So Stephen, a lot of people in Asia Pacific know who you are, but for the benefit of our international audience, who is Stephen McNulty?
I'd like to consider myself what I call a global citizen. I am Scottish. I do live in Singapore, and I've been there 19 years, but I've also lived in quite a few other places. I've lived in America for 5 years, Sydney, Australia for 12 years, and Shanghai for 2 years. So a bit of a global citizen, and all my children were born in different continents.
Great. And you live in Singapore at the moment?
I do, yeah, 19 years.
Being in the center of Asia Pacific, right, you have quite a large remit in terms of the regions you look after. And OpenText being a technology company, how have you seen the variations of adoption of technology across Asia Pacific?
Actually, it's quite vast. So if you look at the different economies that fall under the umbrella of APAC, you've got everything from very mature economies like Singapore and Australia, all the way to developing economies, as you would say, Bangladesh, Myanmar, Laos. Adoption of technologies has always followed and is still following, even with AI, somewhat of a standard curve. The developed economies test it first, implement it first, developing tend to follow.
Now, today we spoke and we had a lot of interesting things around adoption of AI, but we had the juxtaposition around privacy. Do you find some regions more risk averse where others are quick to take on the technology stack?
I think that everyone's risk averse. I don't think there's an appetite. It's more about the adoption of technology, the maturity of the technology they have, the infrastructure they have in country, the maturity of the people they have in country. I would say from a risk-averse perspective, nobody wants AI or any other technology to introduce risk. Different economies have different laws around data sovereignty. Some care more about where the data resides than others. Others are quite happy to centralize their data in a very safe place, for example, like Australia or like Singapore.
From a client's perspective, Stephen, are you seeing the adoption of AI in conversations or people actually starting to take the jump? Because I think when we listen to futurists talking and we listen to technologists talking, AI seems to be front and center of everything we talk about. Are you finding customers still talking about it, or have they built out a strategy in terms of where they want to take it?
Again, it depends on the country. You look at today, you mentioned we're in Melbourne, we've got 550 people registered for an event where the main topic is AI. So very quick to adopt. I do know some of the customers that have been playing around with AI for 2-3 years, generative AI, and they are now getting serious funding, whereas 2 years ago they had play money. Now it's millions of dollars to actually implement AI strategies around improving employee efficiency, customer service, etc. You go to the less developed economies, they're embarking on different stages of their technology journey. AI is part of the discussion, but a lot of them are still moving to cloud. Some of them still don't have a cloud first or cloud only strategy.
Now, living in Singapore, before I move on to the next question, I mean, how have you seen adoption of technology and AI in Singapore, being a citizen in the country?
So, not a citizen, but that's okay. I'm an Australian and British citizen, but the resident of Singapore. Yeah. Singapore is probably the fastest adopter of new technologies I have ever seen. And they're so unbelievably efficient about what we do. So in Singapore, you have one number, it's your ID number. It's the same as your driving license number. They have technology to log into any government website. You can use one single app and everything's connected. They're starting to use AI in healthcare. All your healthcare is linked to your ID number as well. Obviously, they have very strong data privacy, data security laws. But when I visit other countries and I try and do things, from a technology perspective, I'm always amazed when I get back to Singapore how efficient it is. The airport, I mean, I think the fastest airport in the world to get in and out of. If you get to the conveyor belt and your luggage isn't there before you in Singapore, you're disappointed. And very soon they're just about to implement passportless entry and exit into the country.
Oh, with facial recognition?
Biometrics, facial, yes.
I know, I'm super impressed whenever I come into Singapore.
Yeah.
The airport's like a shopping mall
Yeah.
and an experience more than
It is, yeah.
So Stephen, leading a sales organization selling software in such a large region, how do you see AI impacting how your sales individuals interact with customers and sell to customers?
I think that the first step of that is educating all of our people on how they can have AI discussions with their customers about what we do and what we don't do, because we don't do everything in AI. We're not a large language model provider, for example, but we do some really cool things with our technology. So it's about educating them so they can help explain how we add value to our customers. I would hope as the world moves forward on the AI journey, including us, that we start having tools and technologies internally that help us better target our customers, better focus on our customers, better enable us to have those the types of conversations I mentioned earlier with customers.
Yeah, I think we slowly started moving away from clicks to conversations, right? And I think the more we start adopting AI and creating the efficiency, the more it allows us to sit in front of our customer, helping them solve complex problems.
Absolutely. And it's a really exciting discussion. Even our children are talking about it. I mean, when was the last time your children are talking about exactly the same technology that businesses are talking about? They don't talk about the internet anymore because their kids grew up with it. It's just there. They don't talk about Wi-Fi anymore unless it's not there. But AI, they're all talking about it. They're all using it. And hopefully using it the right way and not to help them with their homework. Well, it can help them with their homework, but hopefully it's not doing their homework for them.
Yeah, I guess it's the one technology that's leveled the playing fields across generations.
Yes.
But it's on us to keep up. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Control Alt Listen. But before I let you go, what 3 tips could you leave our audience with in terms of adoption of technology?
I think be open-minded. Have a technology first mindset, an AI first mindset. So if you're looking at your business, think, can AI help me with this? And there's a lot of easily implementable tools out there that people can start to use. But at the same time, make sure that you don't ultimately rely only on AI, because we've all read examples of people using it either the wrong way or using it naively and having the wrong answers. And go for it. Try it out.
Stephen, thank you very much. Thank you, listeners, for joining us on another exciting episode of Control Alt Listen. Don't forget to like and subscribe to stay updated on the latest episodes, and we look forward to seeing you soon. Take care.